Welcome back to Ayaz Tech. In this video, I will show you how to use Google Cloud Functions. It is very easy to use Google Cloud Functions. You don't have to manage any server or any hosting. You just have to come here on Google Console and you just have to write the code for your functions. And if you save it, then it will automatically deploy your code for that function and it will make those function public for you and those function would be accessible very easily without doing anything extra. So it is very straightforward. Before I begin, please make sure that you already have subscribed to my YouTube channel and clicked on the bell icon. So let's begin. Uh, Open your Google Console like I have in my screen right now, and in this sidebar, find the Google Cloud Functions section. So in this section, you can see uh, you can if you already have some function, you can see the list of those functions here. But if you want to create a new one, just click on the Create Function button and wait. So here in the basic section, you have to type the name. Name can be anything. So I would say Ayaz Tech. You can set any name other than this. And this is the region. You can select any region, whatever you prefer. Normally, we select a region that is closest to the location of the customers or the users who would be using this endpoint. So if your customers or clients are um, in such a location, then you have to select the same location from where most of your traffic would be coming. So for now, this is just a demo, so I would just keep it as it is. And here you can define that how you want to trigger this function. So if you click on that, there are many options that you can use. For example, Cloud PubSub, Cloud Storage, Firestore, and Firebase, and much more. But this is a very straightforward and simple tutorial. So in this tutorial, I would use only HTTP. So if you select HTTP, then that's mean you can access this function through the get or post method. So so this is the public URL that would be available for you to use to test it. So after that, here in the authentication section, you have to specify if you want to require authentication to access this function or not. For now, we want to expose this endpoint to the public so that in public anybody could hit this endpoint. So I would select allow unauthenticated invocations. So as it is saying here as well, check this if you are creating a public API or website. So here, if you select the require HTTPS, then that's mean if somebody tries to access your URL through the HTTP, then it will redirect user back to the HTTPS forcefully. So I would click on the save button and next in this section runtime build connection and security setting these are the advanced settings if you want to configure if you have knowledge and you can come here and you can specify how much memory you want to allocate to this runtime. For now, by default, it is 256. You can increase it to select 1 GB or 8 or whatever, depending on your application needs. And here you can define that after how much time it should time out. For example, somebody hit your endpoint, and on every hit, every client is expecting a response from the server. So this is the time period after which if a server does not return any response, then it would time out. So you can set the timeout limit here. So by default it is 60 seconds. So after 1 minute it will throw the error of timeout. Other than that, these are auto scaling feature by default. It is saying that minimum no number of instances are required. So that's mean by default there is no server available to serve any request. Whenever a request comes in for the Google Cloud function, it instantly uh, creates and set up and serve up a new server instance for you. And that because it would be creating a new instance for you from scratch, it will turn on, it is like it will turn on a system for you. So that takes very little amount of time. So if you want to make sure that it does not issue, it don't take any startup time, then you can set up minimum number of instances that would stay online forever, ready to serve your requests. So for now, if you select one, then that would increase the cost. So if you keep it zero, then that's mean you will not be charged until it turns on as instance for you. So it will turn on instance for you only if your request is received. And this is the maximum number of instances. That's mean if you have too much traffic and it has to turn on many more instances, and it will add this limit that it will not let it add more than 3,000 instances at a time. So you can increase it or decrease it depending on your budget and your traffic. And this is the runtime environment variable. This is very useful feature. From here, you can add the environment variable that you normally use in, for example, the Node.js, we use a .env file to get the environment variables. Even you can, normally we also use in the Node application, we use process.env, and like this, we access the name of the environment variable. So you can access any value from the environment variable. So if you want, if you are accessing a secret value from the environment variable, then you just have to add that variable from here like this. You have to type the name. For example, you want to add the database password, you can type db password, and here you can add the value, the actual password. And if you want to access that password in your Node.js application, you just have to type process.env dot. Now you can use the same spelling. In this way, you can access all of those environment variables that you have defined from this section. Okay. So for now, I'm not using any environment variable, so I would just delete it. And let's go to the next step. So I will just collapse it. So that is it. And so this is the second and last step. In this last step, it is giving us a very useful and simple interface to edit your code. You can see by default, it has created a boilerplate for you to start from. So it has index.js file from where you can start writing your function code logic. And this is a package.json file. You can add something relevant to your project if needed. Otherwise, just go to the index.js file. And this is the default code. You can just remove it and write your own code. But for now, I'm not going to remove it. I just want to show you that how it is going to work. So for now, you can specify the entry point name as well. You can change it, but for now, let's keep it as it is. Now I will click on the deploy button. After clicking on that, it may take some time, maybe around 1 minute or more. So you just have to wait for it. You can see the loader is moving. Once it is deployed, it would be in green tick mark, and after that, we will test the function to see, make sure if it is working correctly or not. Okay, so the cloud function has been deployed successfully. You can see it is saying that function is active. So once you see this status, then click on the name of the function and go to the details section. Actually not. Go to the trigger section, and from here you would find the URL that you would use to hit that endpoint. So click on that and look at this. It is showing us the default response that is coming from that cloud function. Now, if you want to change the existing function, if you want to edit the code in the existing function, then just go back here to your function and click on the edit button. And here, go to the next button again, and here you can edit and to make it anything like you want. So now I am going to remove. So it will work exactly in same way like any Node.js application. You can pass any uh, parameters to your Node.js. For example, you can access your parameter from the request object and things like that. So for now, I'm just going to add something else here. For example, I will add heading, a heading tag. Okay, welcome to Tech. So now I'm going to deploy it once again, and let's see. It will again take some time, and once that is done, we will reload this page again to make sure that it has been updated or not. All right, after waiting for some time, the change has been deployed successfully. Now I can reload it to make sure if it is updated. You can see that our cloud function has been updated with the new code that we have deployed, and you saw that how easy it was. So you don't have to be very technical to deploy a function. It is very easy. So this was a very simple and straightforward short tutorial for you to know about Google Cloud Function. But obviously, if you want to learn in depth and you want to know more about this technology, you can just go to the documentation provided by the Google Cloud Function, like Google Cloud Functions. And you can just come here and start reading more about it if you want. So, so I think that's all for now. Please stay in touch with me through the YouTube subscription. Make sure you have subscribed to my YouTube channel so that you can stay updated and click on the bell icon to get all of the notifications. Thank you for watching my video. See you later. Bye.